I happen to believe that the conflict with Iran was necessary. The people we're dealing with Charles Manson, and you can't give him a nuclear weapon, and that's why we had to go Catwoman on Iran. But I think we're pretty close to being done. I don't think the president's going to send in troops. When the conflict ends, the price of gas will come down. I don't know how fast. I don't know why it is. Probably has something to do with the traders. You folks would know that better than I do. But the price goes up quicker than it comes down. But the American people are not stupid. They get it. They understand when we have conflicts in the Middle East affects the price of energy. Number two, or whatever the hell it is. I have great respect for Senator Schumer. I like Iris, his wife, better, but I like Chuck. He is a shrewd negotiator. He did the right thing for America last March when we were in the shutdown and helped us get out of a shutdown. He got beaten bloody by a big portion of his party. In fact, they cut him up so bad, all they have left to work on is scar tissue. I'm really worried that Chuck's going to shut down government again right before the midterms. I hope I'm wrong. I hope my colleagues will talk to him and try to convince him that would be a bad thing to do. But I want to get ready for it. I don't want to stop our work on our budget. I want to go full speed ahead. But I deal with the world as it is, not as I want it to be. None of that requires comment, okay? In fact, my advice to you is to stay away with this business of how fast the price of gas is going to come down, okay? I don't want to get off on that tangent. The safest thing to say is soon. I'm going to save all my questions and let my colleagues talk. I'm going to turn to the esteemed Vice Chairman of the Appropriations Committee and turn it over to her.
Last year, working together, we were able to write and pass a bipartisan funding bill that actually looked nothing like the budget President Trump requested. I didn't love it, but it was a compromise. We worked well together, and we delivered investments to lower energy costs and advance American innovation. We rejected some really extreme cuts, and we protected crucial investments that matter immensely to my state, like the Hanford Cleanup and Pacific Northwest National Lab, Howard Hanson Dam. And I know, Mr. Chairman, you delivered for people back home in Louisiana as well. That is really how this process works best. We talk to folks back home, we talk to our colleagues, we talk to each other, and we negotiate a bill, the strongest bill we can for America. We did that last year, Mr. Chairman, and I'm honored to work with you and look forward to doing that again this year. But looking at this president's budget, Mr. Secretary, I have to say it's pretty clear we have our work cut out for us because we're going to have to start from scratch here. This budget really is a war-bloated disaster. We're talking $1.5 trillion on war, and that is an increase of $500 billion. And this budget takes a hatchet to programs that lower our families' energy bills, research that keeps us ahead of China, crucial water projects that our communities rely on, and gas prices are sky high, and energy bills are ticking up month after month so that Trump can help the defense contractors make a killing. And I will tell you at home, that's not what our families want. You know what they are worried about? They are worried about energy costs. But worse than failing on high energy costs, this administration is actually driving them higher, canceling energy projects that would bring down those costs, waging Trump's absurd trade wars, and now starting this actual war in Iran. And this budget doubles down on driving those costs up. Mr. Secretary, people are getting hammered by skyrocketing energy costs because of this administration's policy. The average price of gasoline right now is $4.04. It's higher than that where I live. That is the highest it's been in 4 years. Electricity costs are up 6.9% over the last year. That is more than double the inflation rate. And your budget seeks to straight up eliminate programs that really help people save money. I mentioned it before, the weatherization assistance, state energy programs. Meanwhile, you're asking to spend $7.4 billion on nuclear weapons. You recently said that gas prices may not go below $3 a gallon until sometime next year. President Trump said you're totally wrong. Do you stand by your comment that prices may not go down until next year?
Look, prices have moved down over the last 9 or 10 days. We do everything we can every day to drive down the price of gasoline. They were below $3 a gallon before engagement in solving a 47-year-old problem, and in the middle of fixing a sticky problem in the center of energy production in the Middle East. Gasoline prices today are still $1 lower than they were in the middle of the Biden administration.
About 10% of the oil and gas production capability of the Gulf's been destroyed in the current war in Iran. It's also impacting fertilizer. Farmers are planting where I'm from. It's also impacting helium, which is critical for healthcare and for semiconductors. We're going to see long-term impacts from this war in Iran, impacts at the pump, impacts in manufacturing, impacts in farming and the cost of food. I think we ought to wrap it up as soon as we possibly reasonably can. But I think we're going to be paying for the costs, and so will the average American, for at least another year to go.